I'm Lillian Vasquez, and this is Inland Edition, our new public affairs show for KVCR TV. A year ago, due to the pandemic, 91.9 KVCR created a new radio show, Inland Edition, with its primary focus on everything COVID-19. Now we're bringing that show to you on KVCR TV. But this version of the show will be more than just the pandemic. It will cover a variety of topics that face our community. We'll speak with experts about important issues affecting our region and beyond. So on this first episode, I'll speak with Heidi Arthur, Chief Campaign Development Officer for the Ad Council, about their vaccine campaign, It's Up to You. Later, we'll hear from Joseph Williams in conversation with San Bernardino County Supervisor Joe Baca Jr. Up next, it's Joseph Williams, San Bernardino Community College District Trustee, in conversation with recently elected County Supervisor Joe Baca Jr.
Hello, I'm Joseph Williams, member of the California Community College Board of Governors and trustee of the San Bernardino Community College District, where we oversee San Bernardino Valley College, Crafton Hills College, and KVCR TV and radio. Today I'm here with County Supervisor Joe Baca Jr. of the 5th Supervisor District, overseeing the cities of San Bernardino, Rialto, Colton, the unincorporated area of Bloomington, and the unincorporated area of Muscoy, and the city of Fontana. Joe, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Congratulations on your recent election. You have a distinguishing feature or fact about yourself being a former student here at Valley College. Do you have any just memories of being a student here and what that time was like when you were a student?
Well, thank you for the question, Joseph. What's interesting is I've been part of the San Bernardino Valley College family since 1979 when my father was elected to the Community College District. So I have a lot of memories. As a kid, he had us going to board meetings. He had us going to athletic events, college functions. I got to know a lot of the staff here. The great thing about this, I had many people positive that influenced me. So when I was here, one of your colleagues was a big influence on me, and that was Frank Reyes. He was actually my counselor.
Okay.
And then Gloria Macias Harrison, another one of your colleagues, was my Spanish teacher for 2 semesters. So those have been people that have had positive influence. But back to the Valley College family, my mom graduated from here. My father actually handed her the diploma.
Oh, wow.
So that was fun. My memories, playing baseball here, a lot of great memories here. Had a great team. Stan Sanchez was our baseball coach at the time. He was a big motivator. And I learned a lot about hard work, grind, and then just never giving up. But probably one of the most memorable moments was actually receiving my diploma from my father here. Okay. So he was on the community college board. He handed me my diploma. So a lot of good memories here at Valley College. And I just think community colleges are a great opportunity for families to, save money, but also try to figure out, where they're at in life. So a lot of good memories here. I've been part of this family for, over 40 years.
Well, welcome home. We appreciate you being here. I received some questions from, just several of my constituents, and I want them to get a good understanding of the role of a county supervisor. But when you think about students and families in the county of San Bernardino, and the challenges that they have, what are some of the things that you would like to work on to solve it? And just if you can share in that question just the role of the county supervisors, just so people kind of know, what a supervisor does.
It's interesting you asked that question because most people don't know what a supervisor does. They're responsible for the county budget, and the budget is about $7 billion.
Wow.
And about 75-80% of it is passed through money. In other words, it's come through state and federal grants. But some of the important things that I feel is important for the 5th District is, people don't realize that the county is responsible for preschool services. So one of the challenges we have right now is preschool's not open. They're doing some distance learning, but their enrollment is down 80%.
Oh, wow.
So getting those kids back in school, getting the teachers back in school and getting those kids. And because it's such a big challenge, many of the mothers have had to quit their jobs to stay at home with these kids because they don't have anyone to watch their kids. So education plays an important role. So preschool services is important to me. Workforce development is very important to me. I know it's part of the program here at Valley College, but making sure that we get people properly trained, but at the same time getting them to jobs and doing some tracking. One of the programs we're working on is to help veterans get employment. But a big thing for me is making sure they're veterans from our community and making sure we're really focusing on kids in our community. The Board of Supervisors is responsible for 75 departments.
Okay.
75 departments countywide, from the sheriffs, from probation, court services, social work. So a lot of different programs that we're responsible for. But one of the things that's important to me is, getting folks employed, getting people employed, making sure that they can take care of their families. Within workforce development, we have people that have had challenges, and we want to make sure they can get past those obstacles, whether it's an expungement program. Those things are very, very important. But a lot of times people don't realize what government's role is and all the services that are available to them. So really trying to expose our community to many of these services.
Yeah. You've hit the ground running. You really haven't stopped from your time on the City Council in Rialto to now, and it's just been a continuation of your body of work. As we think about the pandemic and, we think about the positive cases, predominantly they're Black and brown people, our community. Those are our students. And just thinking about the vaccine, is there anything more that we as colleges, government institutions can do to better inform and provide information about the vaccine and the safety of, and just kind of getting the word and trying to get more people to get vaccinated?
Sure. Vaccinations is important. And before I go into the vaccinations, I really want to talk about also testing. Because the reason why testing is so important for our communities is because, one, our families are staying at home, having to quit their jobs and take care of their families. But we need to get more positive, in other words, negative tests out there. The reason why is we want to get to the red zone, eventually get to the orange zone, and drive those numbers down so we could get our families, our communities back in school. For affluent communities, they're going to do okay. Our communities, we have challenges because many of our families have to work. So making sure that they can get back to work, they can take care of their families, and get our kids, which are many times in our communities behind the learning curve, so getting them back into school is very, very important. The vaccines, there's always that fear. And I surveyed many of my students before I left the classroom, and a lot of them were just fearful. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not comfortable. Well, I think we just have to get people to get over that misnomer that they're uncomfortable with the vaccine. Is that, look, it's positive for you. It's going to get people healthy, and we want to start to bend that curve and really get people back to somewhat of normalcy. But especially for our communities, we need them working, and we need our families back in school and our families working.
Yeah, indeed. I have a 4-year-old at home, man, and homeschool is giving me a greater appreciation for teachers and what they do. Shout out to teachers. Shout out to the work that you've done as a teacher, because, as parents, I can't imagine how single parents are doing it. I'm blessed that I have a wife at home that can help, but it's a lot, and so sooner we can open things back up, I think it'll relieve a great deal of stress on folks.
And you bring up a good point. So one of the ideas I had is, it looks like that we're trending towards school beginning back in the fall in our communities. One of the things I consider trying to push the county to do is to put people from the Department of Public Health in many of our schools. Because one of the challenges is going to be the socialization. People are just really having a hard time with stress and depression. So I think we're going to need people for our kids to turn to and talk to and go through. They're going through many challenging times. It's hard. It's putting a lot of pressure on families and our kids. So I think that's one of the ideas I consider doing, is bringing Department of Public Health, maybe having them participate more in our schools, have a greater role in talking to our families and our children.
In your mind and in the work that you're doing, as a supervisor, you all oversee the Workforce Development Department. What do you think our students and just, people in the county should be doing now to train themselves for the jobs that are coming in the future, so that we can begin to, see folks having those livable wages so they can have access to, like we said, just fruits and vegetables and, things that maybe cost a little bit more money?
I think a couple things is we need to encourage our kids. I see a lot of things I saw as a teacher is low self-esteem. People don't realize how talented they are. A lot of these kids are sharp and smart, but they got to have that confidence and self-esteem. I think it starts there. We got to be more encouraging in our schools, but let them realize that there's many opportunities out there. And I think right now with COVID has become the biggest challenge is people are just staying at home and getting comfortable. and breaking that level of comfort. So the transition out of COVID to back to the workforce, it's going to be a challenge. And you're getting these kids to understand, like, look, man, there's opportunities out there, but knowing these opportunities out there, like, we have a great fire program which kids can get trained, and it's paid training, and realize that there's good opportunities in the fire service. We met with the fire department, and one of the things we're really pushing is for them to start to push for more diversity in the fire service. It's not very diverse, so we're trying to put money into the budget to make sure that they do that. It's a good career. I mean, Crafton Hills has a great program there.
State of the art, yeah.
State-of-the-art program, and those are programs that our kids have to understand that are out there, but they don't know about these opportunities. So I think we have to, like you said, get into these communities and tell them, look, there's options out there, but you got to, sometimes be aggressive. You got to be patient, and it's not instant gratification. It's a grind like anything. You got to put in the work, and just getting our kids to understand that there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, yeah. We appreciate your time and just for coming out, for all of the work that you're doing. If there's any ways that we can partner with you and partner with the county, let's have those conversations. The audience, they want to contact your office, work with you, find out more about what you're doing. What's the best way for them to contact you?
Well, they can call our number. We're available on the website. And if they ever have any questions, concerns about county issues, any challenges, we're more than willing to answer them. One of the things I try to stress with our office is good customer service and constituent response. So making sure we respond to them adequately, whether it's a phone call or email, but they can look on the county website and contact us if they have any county questions or just any questions in general. One of the things we encourage is check our social media site. We're trying to encourage the vaccines. There's what they call a JIC center, basically a call center where people can call in and schedule their vaccines. And if they're having a hard time getting them through, they can get us their number. We can forward it to the JIC Center, and then they will call them as soon as a vaccine appointment is available.
Okay. Well, thank you again for your time. Thank you for all of the information that you've given us. To the audience, I'm Joseph Williams, your representative here, San Bernardino Valley College. Just spent time talking with recently elected county supervisor of the 5th District, Joe Baca Jr., and we hope that you all enjoyed the information and will take advantage of it. Thanks again for you being here, Joe.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
That's our first episode of Inland Edition. Watch for more Inland Edition on KVCR TV coming your way. I'm Lillian Vasquez. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.